Hey guys, so we basically have confirmation here of, well, sort of what we're going to be expecting to see tomorrow revealed. It's interesting that they put, I don't remember, have they ever done this before? Where they put up a quote from like the actual series to tease the upcoming character. So of course we have the English version and we have the Japanese version. There's not really a point for me to pull this up in the video, so we'll just get rid of this one, but this line is what Vegeta says to the rest of the Z fighters after Omega Shenron knocks Goku out. So Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta fight Omega. They get trashed on. They fuse into Gogeta. Gogeta almost kills Omega, and then they defuse because got to make sure that the fusion doesn't get the victory. And then what happens is Goku and Vegeta try to continue fighting against Omega, and Goku gets knocked out. And at that point, it's basically done, right? They're going to lose. So Vegeta tells the rest of the Z fighters, like, okay, yeah, we lost. GG. And then he makes some kind of remark about, like, oh, Frieza killed planet Vegeta, and now I'm going to lose my other home with Earth, right? So that's basically where this quote is from. So it is a quote from Vegeta, but it is during the Omega Shenron fight. So what I've seen from, I guess, people saying and what makes the most sense here, there are two outcomes here, two possibilities that come to mind. The first one is going to be some sort of Goku Universal Spirit Bomb character. I will talk about that more in depth in a second. And the second one, obviously, is going to be some sort of Omega Shenron. If it were up to me, this is a no-brainer, easy decision. In my eyes, it has to be Omega. It honestly has to be Omega. Again, this is the same slot that we received last year with LF17. LF17 served to build up the Universe Reps team throughout the entire year, and we know that GT is going to get buffs throughout this year, right? Toshi said during the reveal and stuff that they are planning for multiple GT buffs even outside of this GT campaign. So it sounds like they're sort of setting up a similar scenario to the Universe Rep team or tag last year, where we're probably going to get buffs for this team during Anniversary. We're probably going to get buffs to this team during Legends Fest. So if you're going to be building a team up, which is essentially a non-existent team right now, GT basically, I mean, you could take a look at the roster if we have for GT. Zero. There's zero characters that are usable here besides this guy who just got Zenkai, right? GT Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Zenkai Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. No other character in here is even remotely usable besides the Tag 4s, and I would even argue the Tag 4s are not. They're not holding up the greatest against the current meta just because of how ridiculous the Legends Fest characters are. I think even like, if you look at the meta before Legends Fest, like they could have at least done something to the pre-Legends Fest meta, but the meta we have right now is just way too absurd for this character to be able to compete at all. That's the unfortunate reality. So Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta really is the only usable character that we have here. So the team is basically starting with nothing, which is how the Universe Rep team basically started last year. So we know we're gonna need like some sort of like crazy foundation, insane character to start building this team back up to where it needs to be able to be competitive somewhat with the best teams in the game. So that's number one. If we actually are getting a Universal Spirit Bomb Goku here, I am telling you that is like nightmare scenario. Actual worst possible decision potentially ever in the terms of like which character needs to drop for this team. Like I'm honestly not like a huge fan of the moment of the GT Spirit Bomb, but just objectively speaking, looking at the landscape of the game here, if we get a Universal Spirit Bomb character right now for GT will see zero play. I mean, it's just that's unfortunately the way it is. And the reason why I say this is if we pull up the two best teams in the game by far, which are Sun Family and Saiyan, you don't see other teams don't exist besides Saiyan and Sun Family right now. That's just unfortunately what happens when you drop Beast Gohan, Goku and Bardock, and then Ultra UI Goku as all three of them as Legends Fest characters. And then also this character too is also technically Sun Family / Saiyan as well. with how crazy this character is and they don't see play, like you drop a GT Spirit Bomb Goku in hopes of buffing GT. Guess what you're gonna see? You're just gonna see this. You're just gonna see this. You're gonna see that Goku, Spirit Bomb Goku, not used on this team, but he's gonna be used on this team and used on this team. There would be no reason to use GT. Like, why would you subject yourself to using this team when you could use that same character on just straight up better teams? Because there's no way that GT is gonna be able to compete with this, right? This is just a better version of GT if we get a Spirit Bomb Goku. There's literally no reason to use GT. And if that is the character they're using as a foundation to build up GT, I think that is a big mistake. They did a perfect job with 17 for Universe Refs because guess what? 17 is not a Saiyan. 17 is not a Sun Family character. 17 is not God Key. 17 is not, I don't know, like any of those other like super powerful all like future or movies. He's none of those things. And so whenever we get other characters that are helping like the generic teams like Saiyans, movies, God Key, stuff like that, it becomes tough to have characters that are building block characters and then they end up being healthy for the game. Because if we get like an Omega Shenron, for example, that is the 17 equivalent for GT, you actually have a reason to use GT with that Omega Shenron because he doesn't fit on Saiyans or Sun Family. So it differentiates GT from the other teams because, again, they release a Goku that's a Universal Spirit Bomb character. That's like the foundation for GT. There's simply no reason to use GT. And the only way they could sort of work around that is if they build in some sort of like mega restriction to his passive where like you have to run other GT characters next to him, which honestly they could do that, but it would just be so stupid. I hate when they do that, right? Yeah, like this is like it's like Sword of Hope Trunks, I think, had this restriction before he got his Zenkai Awakening. Let me see if I can pull him up real quick. Sword of Hope Trunks. So yeah, before Zenkai, they got rid of this thankfully when he received his Zenkai, but he basically had to be ran with 2 Vegeta Clan or future characters to get like his endurance and stuff like this. And that basically made him unusable on like hybrids. I mean, you could use him on hybrids, but he just wouldn't get his endurance, which was a heavily nerfed version of that character. So they could restrict like a technically like a Universal Spirit Bomb Goku to work on GT. Like you run 2 other GT battle members and then he gets like an extra 100% attack or damage inflicted, and then he gets like I don't know, an extra 20% reduced damage received, similar to like how PyCon works. But for PyCon, it doesn't even matter that much because he's not restricted enough to where like you don't want to run him on just Saiyans, right? Remember, PyCon gets extra damage reduction if you run him on a team that has other movies units, but like they would have to restrict this Goku super heavily to only be ran on GT because again, otherwise people are just gonna run him on Sun Family and Saiyan, and I would just feel so bad for like people who were waiting for over a year for GT to get buffs, and then they give us like a Goku for GT, and guess what happens to that Goku? He gets ran on these teams, and GT remains unusable. That's what I'm telling you. That's what would happen, and that is literally nightmare scenario number 1. So I am actually just like, please, I'm praying, hands clasped in prayer, looking skyward. Please do not make this a Spirit Bomb Goku. I agree that we need the Universal Spirit Bomb Goku in the game. That is probably the final big moment we don't have representation for in Legends right now from the original series. It needs to happen, but this is the worst possible time for it to happen. Do it during Anniversary, do it during Legends Fest, do it during like August or something, like it's just an off month. Not now. Not when Saiyan and Sun Family are by far. It's not even close. There's no like Saiyan and Sun Family are number 1 and number 2 teams in the game, and then like number 3 is like way lower down on the totem pole. It's like not even remotely close. Like there's no team that touches this. And so if they're going to continue giving us Gokus and Saiyans, like what do you think's going to happen? You think people are going to use the Goku on GT? No! No one's using Goku on GT. It would be really annoying if they did that. So I'm Omega Shenron, like some sort of LF reviving Omega Shenron, something. would be so much better for the game right now. And honestly, it would probably be better for the game moving forward, because even down the line, like during Anniversary or Legends Fest, when we inevitably will be getting more Saiyans, I'm expecting, you know, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goji to either drop during Anniversary or Legends Fest this year. We need to have other teams that are good besides just Saiyan and Sun Family, right? We need GT to be good, but it's going to be hard for GT to be a different team than just Saiyans and Sun Family if they don't give us other characters like that are not Saiyans, like Omega, like Super 17, like Maju, right? We need those kinds of characters to make GT an actual different team. What ended up happening with Universe Reps is they gave us UI Sign Goku, and UI Sign Goku just worked way too well with Goku and Bardock, to the point where you didn't even want to run this guy on Universe Reps. You just ran him next to Goku and Bardock on Saiyans, and that ended up being like the far superior team to Universe Reps. So they actually hurt themselves by making this guy, or by making the Universe Reps like top dog a Saiyan character. So I do think Saiyans and Sun Family are in way too strong of a position right now to where a Goku GT unit would actually help this team out a lot. And I'm even going to make the same statement for potentially a second banner for GT, because a lot of people are talking about potentially an Ultra banner dropping for GT at the end of the month. I was originally thinking like an Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku would be like the best possible thing that could happen for GT, but it's like I don't even know if I want that now. It's just no, like, again, unless he's restricted to GT, which I think is just stupid to do. Like, it's just no one's running them a GT. GT is not a team. People are just gonna throw them on Saiyans or something. Like, it's just, I think this is actually like a pretty bad spot to be in. I don't know, man. That's what I'm thinking. I think those are the two like most likely options here: some kind of Omega Shenron or a Universal Spirit Bomb Goku. But to me, it's very clear that this like has to be an Omega. Then like they do the reveal and stuff, and it is a Spirit Bomb Goku as the LF. We are in for a like this is a rocky start to 2024 if that's the case. We are in for a like, this is the meta that we're in right now is probably like top 3 worst ever. I'm not exaggerating. This meta is terrible. This is a terrible meta that we're in. Every team is UI Goku, Goku, and Bardock, and either Ultimate Gohan or Pikkon. Every single match, at least for God rank, right? I mean, it's going to be different for people who are not like super highly ranked, but that's every single match, because that's by far the best characters in the game. It's just the way it is. So I mean, this, in my opinion, this has to be Omega. Like this potentially could be a super big fumble if it is a Goku, which hopefully it is not, but we will see. Hopefully they end up realizing what they need to do here. Let me know down below what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.